welcome to all our attendees for today's exciting webinar, Decode Your Design Dreams. I am Manini Shah. I head admissions office for United World Institute of Design, UID, which is India's premier and most sought after design institute. Before we begin with today's topic, let's have a quick snapshot and overview of what makes UID the most sought after design institute. I would like to ask my colleague to play a small video to give you an overview of who we are and what we do at UID.
Shikshanat Siddhi. Drawing inspiration from the rich tapestry of continuous learning within our Indian knowledge systems, United World Institute of Design is a space where creativity meets innovation. Dreams manifest into realities, and a vibrant community of aspiring leaders forge a path towards a brighter tomorrow. Our unwavering commitment to excellence is anchored on three pillars: leadership, skill-based learning, and pioneering in next-gen technologies. Yat bhavo tat bhavati. You become what you believe. And we at UID believe in the mindset of service and empowerment. We empower our students not only with knowledge, tools, technologies, and expertise, but also with true values of leadership, where the confidence to lead with integrity, empathy, and integration of human-centric approach lies at the core. Vidyadhana Sarva Pradhanam. Knowledge is the most precious wealth, and the educational philosophy of UID celebrates skill-based learning and uniqueness of each individual. Along with hands-on experiences and practical learning, we also build a sense of purpose and fulfillment, nurturing compassionate and well-rounded individuals, making noteworthy contributions to the society. Embracing the future with open arms, we are driven by a passion to pioneer in next-gen technologies that enhance the human experience. From artificial intelligence to CGI and VFX, we integrate cutting-edge infrastructure where ideas flourish and innovation thrives, all while keeping human values at the forefront. Our vision extends beyond academic success. It is about nurturing leaders armed with wisdom and righteousness, with a passion to make a difference. We are not just a launchpad of limitless possibilities. We are a community that embraces the warmth of human connections, because together is a beautiful place to be.
Here at UID, we design timeless legacies together. As we say, together is a beautiful place to be. So today, together, let's decode your design dreams. While in our previous 3 episodes of Decode Your Design Dreams, we have covered a wide range of topics, including various domains of design, the future of design through AI and emerging technologies, career opportunities in design, the role of Design Institute in shaping your career, from tips on entrance exam to exploring interdisciplinary design and global collaborations. We have delved into how design can drive innovation and global change. Our focus today in this fourth episode will be Design Your Future, why design thinking is the new superpower. So, without any further delay, let's understand from our experts that how design thinking is no longer just for designers. It's transforming the landscape of various industries and becoming one of the most in demand skills for the future. Joining me are two fantastic speakers, my dear colleagues, and our esteemed faculty members, Professor Hariesh Sankaran, faculty in the Department of Interior and Spatial Design, uh, who is also an expert in the areas of product, space, communication, experience design, and entrepreneurship. He brings deep expertise in digital, interactive, and multimodal user experiences from desktop, mobile, wearable, and physical platforms. Professor Felnunmoi Gangte, our faculty member at UID NCR campus and a design researcher at IIT Bombay, pushing the boundaries of bamboo weaving into 3D form. She collaborates with Northeast Indian artisans to fuse tradition with innovation in fashion, lifestyle, and cultural design. Let's get started. Professor Harish, let's begin with you. Can you share how design thinking is making real impact across industries today? Over to you, sir.
Design thinking right now is a game changer. If you know how it works, how the processes, the methods, and if you're a practitioner of design thinking, I think you'll do very well in any of the fields that happens. The crux of design thinking emerged in 1994 when Tim Brown coined the word called design thinking, and he designed a workshop around it with the five uh, uh, step process that gets into how you strategize yourself into a certain form of thinking in itself. And it has evolved over a period of time. It is matured. It has got its own interventions from each of its domains that it has gone into. And now it has become such a huge and important form method of thinking that it is implemented in all industries and all forms of problem solving methods. And there is no problem solving method that you have beyond design thinking, and it's been quite phenomenal in the way it has actually impacted different domains in itself. One very specific domain that comes to my knowledge is to my I think is healthcare. Healthcare has had several impacts. Look at any of the hospitals that are there right now, the way function, things that are actually programmized in terms of how appointments are taken, how things are planned. It's an extremely complex method of how it works. It's a complex functional systemic problem that happens, and design thinking has helped healthcare solve a lot of these, iron out a lot of these wrinkles that used to happen earlier. Beyond that, there are some projects that our students have also worked on in specific in terms of health informatics and disease diagnosis. There are existing apps that are there, but what is interesting about the work of one of our student groups that I've worked is uh, beyond health informatics. It kind of finds out all the health issues, health diagnosis that happen across all uh, uh, doctors or any diseases that they have developed. That's one part of it. It also kind of maps a familial or a hereditary structure of how diseases and how healthcare has happened across generations as well. And it also, an AI in a form kind of helps us understand and map all of these uh, 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 changes that has been happening and the iterations that has been happening in the health and the lifestyle of that generation in itself, which gives us very interesting insights into how we can design for lifestyle, specifically of what we should be eating, food, fitness, how long do we work out, how does our body respond to certain kind of food, or how much do we have to work and work out or so if you need to burn out fat, and how does diabetes work, how does BP work in terms of how the hereditary transformation that happens in itself. and how do we then give diagnosis for specifics of all of these taken together. And I think it was a very interesting project and very elaborately done project as well. We've pitched it for incubation. We'll see how that goes. And I think if something of this sort that comes in, I think there's several other startups that are working on this as well. But this is one thing that was interesting.
Also, one of the recent project wherein our student have designed emergency drone deliveries to impacted areas, and not to forget in this time that our students are also designing in the area of defense in various capacities, right?
Yeah, that specific project is funded by with the DDTII, which is also part of the incubation. Yeah.
Right. Any other areas you would like to talk about, tech areas to?
Of course, there are several areas, specifically in terms of social innovation. That's a very interesting
Mhm.
area that has happened, and there has not been many design interventions in terms of social innovation in India itself, though it has been quite prominent in the West. We've woken up to it. We've been doing some work on that. Our students have been working on social innovation projects as well. One interesting project is mobile restrooms that were designed for urban public spaces, and this is a concept where it's a mobile restroom keeps moving around. And what was interesting is I think the idea of mobile restrooms have already been suggested with the smart city project by the Indian
Right.
government, and they are going around. But what was interesting with this project is that the student had designed self-cleaning closets, because sanitation and hygiene becomes a huge compromise in terms of mobile uh, restrooms, and a very interesting method of self-cleaning toilets, closets for Indian conditions. There are closets that have been designed across in Australia and the West, but what is interesting is those are not materials and conditions, and that's not how our public society works. It's very human centric. Design thinking is also very extremely human centric,
Very human
and it's
centric.
very society centric, and this kind of helps us also change behavioral patterns of our own society as well to a better behavioral pattern in itself. That's one thing, and then it also adds up a mobile app which kind of tracks the mobile restrooms that move on, gives locations. You can do payments onto it. You can also see which of the ones are cleaner, better, more used. You can rate them. So it's a very interesting application and innovation that was done as part of this
How
whole
Japan
innovation.
changed the entire system through design
Mm.
thinking in terms of the
Yeah,
washrooms across the
yeah.
country. All right, incredible. So from the field to the classroom, Professor Felnunmoi, how is UID embedding design thinking into education? What are your thoughts on this?
At UID, especially, we have seen that design thinking is a mindset all the programs, right? So, as we have already said, design thinking is a human-centered approach to problem solving. Hence, here at UID, we ensure that the students are sensitized from the very beginning, like from the first year itself. For example, our integrated foundation program includes this design thinking as a subject in itself, which is an introduction to the concept, right? And then in the second year, we have subjects like psychology for the designers. So that introduces to students to the concepts of empathy and cultural sensitivity, right, which they further like apply to all their projects, not just in the first year but in the coming years. So students are encouraged to collaborate, prototype, test, and iterate from day one itself. So, in fact, some of the foundation students in the second semester now, they're doing a live project on something we call the happiness project. So, where they interact with a certain community of their choice, in some ways make their life happier, right? So there is that sense where you need to be able to understand the other person that you're catering to. So we make sure that happens from the classroom itself. So we blend studio based learning with real life real world briefs, like real world issues that actually happen there. So all of the sensitization happens from the very basis. So then they eventually work with NGOs, startups, or the industry itself. So through life projects and internships, the students are not just learning design thinking, but they're living by it.
All right, great. Now we would move to our second segment, which is case study spotlight, wherein although you both of you gave us some glimpses about the projects of our students, but I mean, some more insights on the kind of projects our students are being doing. So let's spotlight one of our UID standout project, leverage the design thinking. Harish sir, over to you.
There are several of them. We've got
I am sure,
very
yes.
smart students and very clever and innovative ideas that come up. Okay, I'll list out a few very interesting ones as well. Was a wheelchairs for beaches. Though they do exist, wheelchairs for beaches, in terms of how the tires actually work or the wheels actually work in itself. But our student was also trying to understand how do disabled people, differently able people, also can access the beach and the sea and the water. Otherwise, only a vision of the far side for them. They never really go close to water. That was a very interesting intervention in terms of how they had relooked at how wheels actually work, relooked at how load gets of sand that actually come in. How do you then transfer it and push it back, and how does it actually move forward, and so on. Stability on sand, that's a very important thing, because you still don't have wheelchairs which are very stable to move on thing. So this is on the studio, which is based on universal design methods. Another one that actually comes to my mind is smart urbanism. And one student had worked on smart urban dustbins which actually track how much of cardboard or paper waste that comes in, how much of organic waste that comes in, how much of. So it kind of has also a weighing scale within it. So it kind of tracks all of those. Also, an app that was developed along with this smart dustbin. So it gives information to all parties involved into it, all
Stakeholders, yeah.
officers who are involved with it. It goes to the government. It goes to all the. If it is full, it needs to empty it. So that kind of goes into. It informs people, sanitation workers to come and pick it up as well. Also, it kind of gives citizens a notification. I can find the nearest dustbin where I can trash things up, and it kind of then also gives an idea of how much of organic trash is coming, how much of paper trash is coming. Those then gets into a format of cycle, sustainable reuse or recycle of those. So that's a very interesting circular economy based social design that was actually that was a very interesting project, I thought, and very impactful if that would be implemented. We are pitching all of these projects, and we hope this time around during the incubation fest we'll probably get all of them into some good state. Yeah.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
Professor Felnunmoi, any student project you would like to highlight here?
Yeah, I would. As Sir said, there are lots of projects that come to mind. So I'll just give a brief of like few projects that kind of comes to mind as of now. So one remarkable project that came from the product design was a team who designed a calendar, right? A calendar for the visually re-innovating the space of of the place itself where the kids interact every day. So they made sure that they had like a friendly safe space there. And some of the animation and game design department, they worked on developing educational games for the underprivileged kids there. So all of this was done on the field. Like they went in, they visited it, and it was like a continuous feedback and prototyping that was done with the actual stakeholders stakeholders and the people who will actually be using this space, right? And there's a recent example, like today itself there was a loopet event and an exhibition that was held here in the campuses. So where all of these the students, they explored on the different communities that they could work with. And one of the projects was called exoskeleton, where the project aims to aid the physical strain of a worker, like a manual worker faces a lot of strain on their arms. So a project that helps them with lifting and transporting things from one place to another. So it's a very simple mechanism, but the amount of empathy it takes to actually understand how they work, I think the students had done a good job there. So the core of design, we believe here, is human, as it should be. Hence all work is done keeping the users and also the makers, the designers also in mind. Yeah.
There are a couple of other
Incredible.
projects.
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
There are a
please,
couple of other
please.
projects that comes to my mind as well. I think because we've touched upon healthcare, something on social innovation. Defense is one area that our students have been working on as well. One was the drone ambulances that they had actually worked on in terms of tough terrains. That was one. The other one is a rover which scans for rust in ships. And how to then, because that's a very laborious job and it's very dangerous as well, going deep and scanning for rust and then also rectifying them. So that's a tough process. And there are students who've been working on something of that sort as well for defense. Defense also has two other very interesting projects. One is a boots that they were working on for weather assistance and such types. The other one was smart textiles that we're working on. A combination of fashion and product students. They were working on smart textiles, which warms up your body when you're for the armed professionals, the military, the defense professionals itself, when they're in higher altitude and colder temperatures. So it kind of warms them up and then regulates their body temperature in itself. So that kind of works well for them, those temperatures. Several of the textile-based startup innovations have also been worked upon in terms of how do you say? Another important thing with defense is also sweat-proof fabric, or how do you deal with sweat and stuff. So that's a very interesting area that people are working on as well. This is all very serious stuff. There's also a very interesting small, very innovation doesn't have to be really large. It doesn't have to be social. It doesn't have to be urban. It doesn't have to be healthcare, large problems. But there are some interesting, very small mechanical engineering problems as well. There is this vibrating eraser that has happened right now. That's there. That's available in the market. What is interesting is it doesn't actually does a job as well as it is required, and so it is not very commonly used in the market. It's not bought in the market. The reason is because it moves left, right, left, right. So it kind of mimics the hand movement in itself, but that doesn't really work well when it works on the paper. It kind of harms the paper. So there's a very interesting thing that they do is it moves in circles and then it kind of removes all the return matter, return lead content from the paper itself without making any harm for the paper. And that's a very simple, small innovation, but I think that's worked very well. And what is interesting is the same innovation can actually be used in healthcare when they do endoscopy and so on and so forth. So
Right.
it's just one engineering design, but it kind of has its applications at other places.
Another small example I would like to give here, in all the women toilets on campus, we see those seat lifters, which are designed by one of our students. It's a very small product, but it solves our very big problem. So yeah, design thinking is embedded in all UIDs here. So moving ahead, moving forward, we have some questions that we have received in last few days from our students who have registered for today's webinar. We have chosen a few of them. I'm sure a lot of them are answered during this webinar. I'll read out those questions and sir, ma'am, you can pick up those questions. How does UID prepare students to solve real world problems through design? I think we have spoken a lot about this, but still, I mean, if you can answer this.
Sure, sure.
Yes, sir.
I think pretty much all that we've touched upon right now, in terms of real world problems and in terms of all other applications. In terms of tech, I think design thinking has played really important role. Uh, um, it needs to be human centered. Most of the digital products that you see are based on that, and I think it's an undeniable that you're not going to be using it anytime. It's not. It's no more. It should be inculcated as a pretty important a method of thinking in itself for everybody.
Right. The second question is, how does UID support innovation and entrepreneurship amongst our students? I mean, we at UID support all exits. There are well planned exits, whether you want to continue your academic journey, find a job, or you want to, do a startup. There are three verticals, three teams work parallelly to support each of your aspiration. But specifically for innovation and entrepreneurship, Harish sir, you were saying something?
It's interesting. We do have the KIIF, Karnavati Incubation and Innovation Foundation, and most of the projects that I've actually discussed and introduced, spoken about right now, are being pitched for the incubation, and a couple of them are already incubated by the KIIF. And we are also collaborating. Karnataka University also collaborates with DDTII, which is the Defense Innovation and Incubation hub of Gujarat. We'll be doing that as well. And some of our projects are also been working along with that. Um yeah,
We
there's one
have
more
our
interesting
own
area
Shark Tank
that
as RM. We are preparing for RM 5.0, wherein not only the final projects, but even prototypes of our students are funded. So your journey starts from there itself, like your explorations, your prototypes, and of course, to your final product. Yes, sir.
another interesting area is agriculture. There's a lot of work that has been. A lot of students have actually taken a lot of interest to agriculture and how technology could work with agriculture. There's a lot of drone activity that happens. There are also in smart agriculture formats. They're actually trying in terms of how it works. That's one area. But I also to emphasize how design thinking actually works or instigates other fields. We also have a studio for biodesign. Biodesign is an area where we try and understand nature and the characteristics of nature in nature in itself, be it plants or animals or any of those, and then we try and develop concepts out of it or characteristics which we can then convert into a technology in itself. Though we do not have, as designers, we do not have the know-how of how these technologies can evolve, but someone needs to dream about it. Someone needs to imagine about it. So we have this studio that works on it, and every year we present our methods and we present our outputs in conferences, research conferences like ICON, which is hosted by IIC Bangalore and IIT Delhi. Also, we presented our papers findings. What was interesting is there was a researcher in the biotechnology department at IIT Gandhinagar who found one of our concepts, which is very interesting in terms of how do you understand certain animals and how do you take on those characteristics and build certain fabrics out of it. And that research with our students have also is now taken over at IIT Gandhinagar. So we can imagination is really important. So we can imagine, probably give them guidance and tell them these are probably areas that you can actually look at where applications can happen, and then scientists and other biotechnologists, microbiologists then take it up because most often what happens is they are so concentrated on what they are doing, they don't naturally have a worldview or in terms of broader perspective of how you can actually connect things from different areas. Uh,
I'm sure on joining UID, I mean, because we have a very interdisciplinary approach that we follow here. So you enter from one door, you will have a lot of other doors or tremendous opportunities opening up for you in various domains of design. We'll move to the next question, which is, are scholarship or financial aid options available for students? Yes, We do have various scholarships ranging up to 100% scholarship for both, students from both our campuses. I would like my colleague to share the screen and tell them from where they can find all the scholarship programs. And while our defense, our Army, Navy, and Air Force are fighting the warlike situation, we have up to 100% scholarship that we are announcing for Army, Navy, and Air Force officers wards. So you can find the scholarship programs on our website, that is uid.edu.in. On the right side corner, you can see admissions. Once you click on the admissions, you will see scholarship program 2025. There are two documents here. One is for the Ahmedabad campus and the another is NCR campus. So on clicking, you'll be able to see the entire document. So right from um, your UCIT scores to your NID to NIFT score, we have various scholarships available up to 100%. And this is special announcement for Indian Armed Forces wards, Army, Navy, and Air Force. We have a minimum of 25% scholarship available for you on your tuition fee and hostel. So go through all the scholarship programs and do apply anyone which is suitable to you. And we also have student education loan support. We are collaborated with Credila and IDFC First Bank. These are the top student education loan providers. So go through these documents, and if you want to understand it in detail, feel free to get in touch with our admission team. All right. The next question is, how can we schedule a campus visit or get in touch with the admission team? Our dynamic admission team is available round the year on calls, emails. You can visit both of our campuses anytime. Can we have this slide? So we will also share the contact information right now. You can note down and feel free to visit us anytime during the year. In case if you have any dilemma choosing between programs, because we offer 21 programs under our 7 departments at both our campuses. So do reach out to the admission team on the number, which is 9266663225, which is our central number, which is also given on the website. These are our two campuses. The Ahmedabad campus is a constituent college of Karnavati University, and the second campus is located in Sona Gurgaon Road, which is a part of GD Goenka University campus. So our two campuses, we welcome you all with your parents to visit the campus and look at the facilities that we provide. 45 plus labs and studios, advanced labs and studios. So right from artificial intelligence arena to makers labs, automobile clay labs to Felder Center of Excellence, from fashion labs, Vacom labs, wood, metal workshop, to Craft and Innovation Center, wherein we are linked or collaborated with 400 plus artisans pan India, and we work with them very closely. Our students do learn this rich heritage of our country and also innovates products here, mixing two crafts from different states. We also help our students in getting the products patent, or we file IPR jointly with artisans and students. And from various departments, our students do have filed a lot of IPRs. Like last year, we did 293 IPRs of our students and created world record. From 1200 plus recruiters globally to 30 plus international collaborations, and the largest fleet of faculty in India. We have 200 plus members, design faculty, who are working as full-time. Some of them are also professors of practice. So they work in the industry for 15 days and they teach you for 15 days. So they bring a very rich experience, which is a balance of traditional techniques and our Indian knowledge system to the latest and emerging technologies. And we follow a 13:1 student faculty ratio, which is internationally benchmarked. And we also follow a mentor-mentee system. So each UIDian on joining UID is assigned with a mentor, a guru, who then helps him or her in this beautiful journey of becoming a successful designer of tomorrow, helping you at each stage in selecting the right electives, in choosing the right exit, to any sort of guidance that you would require during this journey. So, yes, what an insightful conversation today. We have decoded how design thinking is not just a creative process, but truly a new age superpower. From revolutionizing industries to shaping future ready problem solvers, it's clear that design thinking is the skill that empowers innovation, empathy, and real world impact. At UID, we don't just teach design; we live it. Like how both the speakers, the faculty members said today, we truly had a glimpse of how our students or designers are changing the global, you know, method or the way how we are thinking. And our programs are rooted in the principle of design thinking, immersive, hands on, collaborative, and human centered. If you are ready to design your future with purpose and creativity, we invite you to explore how UID can be your launchpad. A big thank you to all our speakers and everyone who joined today. Stay inspired, keep asking the right questions, any questions that comes to your mind, and remember your design dreams are worth decoding. So yes, thank you everyone and all the best. Any questions you have, please feel free to reach out to our dynamic admission team on 9266663225. All right, anything you want to say, Harish sir, Felnunmoi?
Always a pleasure sharing students' work, And as we discussed, there's a lot of things, a lot of students' work actually keep coming, Yeah, I think it would be interesting to have a discussion just on, or have students to present all their work. That will also be very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Do visit
Yeah, I
us.
think.
Yes,
No, I was just going to say, I think all of us work really hard here, trying to give you everything that you need, like to succeed in design, right? And then the faculties here also, we are trying our best to mentor you individually as well, and not just in the class. So I think, yeah, it would be a good learning journey for you here if you could, come and experience your career and start it from this place. I think that's what
yes.
I wanted to add.
Do visit us. You will see a lot of exploration by our students, their work on display, because we have recently finished the graduation shows for all departments at Ahmedabad campus, and it's ongoing at our NCR campus. So do visit. And in case if you want to look at the PhD work going on, you can look at the portals, which are Shodh Ganga and Shodh Gangotri. So yes, all the best. Stay inspired, and we're looking forward to meet you and you being